Okay, hello viewers. One more session starting. That's the nuts on the first hand in here, but no action. I would open it in the 9-7, but not calling against the open from the bad position. Let's open that one from the cut off. I would have just checked back, but I think against the half pot we are going to call. Not a great spot. But some backdoor equity as well. In bottom left we are calling, at least if the small blind folds. Double guts. Not quite hit top left. I think top bottom left we could actually check again and going for the check call, hoping he doesn't have the king 10. Well, even against this sizing I suppose I'd just call. Well, thank you for going so small. Just left lot of value on the table. Well, top right, if they check again, we are going to bet here. Also unblock the kings, queens and pens and so on. And bottom left, I think we could delay C, but here now we have the... Oh man, I really hate the river. I think I'm actually folding. Actually thinking of folding. I mean, it's funny thing because I would have bet if he checks, but I don't really think he's going to value a bit weaker here, really. 1 PP, what the hell. We just raise here. Yes, he's kinda short stack as well. And once again ask what was the point of betting 1 PB in position? And bottom right, we will start betting on the flop. Not got so 2 backdoor flush draws. Bottom pair blocking. continuation raise a little bit. Little tiny bit. Oh, we received cash ticket from the high-hand promotion team. What was the hand I got it? Not sure. I mean, was it the hand that we folded with the aces, or not even sure if those counted for that promotion if it doesn't go to showdown. I didn't actually read that what was the hand that gave me that pot size bet. I suppose we are just folding. Don't really have a nut out at all either. Bottom right, I think probably just call. Maybe we could squeeze. Definitely would squeeze if the 5 was connected as well. But when it's a dangler, might be fine to just call. And then we just try to check the showdown and we face a super small bet. I suppose we call this one. Would have the best hand. And also 2 of those practical nut outs. But yeah, if we bet like half, but I would have folded. I think we could call top left in position. And top left, not cut, should not flush draw. Yeah, going to stab on the flop. So much nut potential. And talking about the nut potential, we have the nuts. We do both block the nut second nut flush draw, but I mean, we don't really need to pot here, I suppose. With the SPR we have. And also when he just calls, it decreases somewhat the chance that he has like set type of hand. Seems like it's folding. And bottom right, question is, do we want to bet the river? And usually it's such basically no showdown value, I don't mind to try and stab small. Only need to get like 1/3 of the time to opponent to fold to be break even, and usually you achieve that. King, Jack, deuce, deuce. That's the dream hand. Yeah, so he overcalled my open and 10 calls against the button squeeze against bit over 30 BB players. So even if he somehow happens to hit the hand with that trash, he's not getting any ink blinds basically. I think top left is like barely good enough. And we hit in kind of an awkward way. I think we want to probably just start by checking. I mean, we could bet small and basically try to deny some equity. That's unfortunate kind of card because now we are behind queens, kings. Just folding to that action, obviously. And bottom left we have the nuts with the redraw. Can just betting. Also have one club blocker which will decrease the chance that was complete. Lossy fish, 3-bet happy guy. I was just thinking that this is quite reasonable 3-bet hand if the MP opens, and I think top right we want to just bet here. Pretty bad playability for check calling, but pocket 8's working as a nice blocker here. And I think we need to call the bottom right, not super happy about it, but now I'm a bit more happy. I think sets we are pretty much always checking in this spot. I think 2 pairs we can actually lead sometimes. 91%. Nice. Was also dominating my flush, one of my shoots, I mean. Didn't have the flush draw, but yeah, standard play from the wheel lane, obviously. For that low SPR at least. This guy going around with complete trash, unfortunately he left. Not that his opponents had much of a hand either. I mean, call. So there was limp ISO raise call, and I mean on the flop he has obviously kinda strong hand with the open ender and flush draws. Brave of calling. I mean even against wide player that is too wide. But some people are way overvaluing those double suited hands that they basically always play them, more or less. Just checking bottom right. And with the bad connectivity, I think I'm just folding top left. And just trying to check the showdown basically at the bottom right. I don't think we want to start bluffing with like a high hands. And I mean that's obviously kind of a tricky flop anyway. Like I would think that some hands, like maybe if we had like I don't know, Queen Jack 10 or something, would be kind of a reasonable hand that we are blocking like those kind of strongish over pairs as much as possible, and Queen High not having much showdown value. Those kind of hands could maybe make some sense. Just calling in position. If we face the queens, we can also call, but wouldn't be too happy about it. I kind of hate calling 3-bets with these single pair hands, even if they are well connected. Just quite often going to miss the pops. And in here, just trying to check the showdown. Hoping the queens are good, but we can check. Right, no action. That might actually, I'm not sure, like against small blind we should probably, yeah, I think we should be 3-betting that theory-wise at least. Not sure about like button or cutoff open. I think it was actually that, like in trainer, if you checked small blind versus big blind, I think pretty much every or almost every pocket pair with the aces is going to be 3-betting. But yeah, they were often like only slightly better compared to call, and then if you don't have as much fold equity preflop as it assumes in GTO, then it's probably quite quickly better to just call with those kind of hands, at least if they are like single suited. And of course, like having ace 3-3 is very different to ace queen queen or something. Just folding that one. This guy is saying that he has the boat, and he had it. Lane calling with ace king queen. I mean, blocking the king is nice, but having the ace and queen of hearts is probably not that great of a thing. Bottom right against the bottom open, I think we are strong enough to defend. If the small blind folds. And just check folding the flop. Not really having much, but once he checks back, I think we are going to bluff here with our king. Like if I had 2-pair or something, I would just check. I was spotting the blank river, but I think here, I don't know. Should should we just give up? Maybe we should. I don't know. Now he can also have some boats. Like that kind of hand would be actually kind of a nice bluffer ace if I bet the river. Unfortunate river card on the blank. I would have bodies and probably won the pot. I was thinking about half potting the river, but because I don't think flushies want to bet pot at least without having like nut flush with couple pot blockers. Just folding on the bottom left, like this is pretty much one of the best kind of flops you can hit, and you're not going to be that happy of the spot. Trying to isolate, we actually managed to isolate. I don't mind if he folds either, but usually they are not folding. If they limp, and we actually hit pretty strong here, top and bottom with second nut flush draw. And now we have set as well, so I think it's just time to pot. And don't mind to get the fold if possible. There are still quite a lot of turns we don't want to, or rivers we don't want to see. He shoves well. 91%. Thank you. That went nicely. Top right with the flush draw we definitely call. And now he might shut down with the straight as well. It's easy fold if he bets anyway, but he pots again. Even if it was blank and he pots, I think it's quite marginal spot at best. Because we are obviously crushed against the higher straight, and the flush draw is pretty weak one. But can't really just fold straight away on the flop, I would say. We could also lead and fold against the raise, I suppose, but don't really want to start building pots with that kind of hand without at least having better support like nut flush draw or something. We flop the second nut, just a calling. We also have two backdoor flush draws. He checks back, so we can pretty much take out the ace queen unless he has like some really monster hand and he decided to slow play with it. That's pretty rare situation to happen. Now we are actually in kind of a weird spot because we only have this second nuts. We could bet really small, I suppose. Let's try to make the block bet. So if I check and he bets, I really don't like the spot. Because it's kind of hard to actually find that much bluffs in his spot, I would say. So by betting small, I basically try to get him to call if he has like some two pair or set type of hand. And try to basically not end up in a situation where I'm facing a bigger bet after checking, and if he raises, I'm just going to fold. giving the respect that he has to not most of the time. Haven't actually seen the fluffy fish 3-betting so far, which is kind of surprising considering how he often plays. Top left, I don't know, without the nut fluster, do we start to bet a bit here? Can probably go either way. Well, with the nut cuts and second nut fluster, we are still calling the turn. And, well, we have a tiny bit of showdown value, I would think. That we actually make the nuts on the bottom left. And not enough. Yeah, I wasn't really like expecting to win that often. Yeah, I think we are just potting here and see if we get the action or not. We are repping kind of thin here because we checked back the flop, I believe. So we might get some hero calls here. I mean, yeah, like this fuzzy guy, it's not like he necessarily 3-bets like all sort of like trash hands, but he definitely 3-bets too much with like single suited rundown type of like mid-high, like some Jack 10, 9, 7 single suited, for example. Stuff like that, from what I have seen. I was actually thinking about open folding this, but not sure how much we are actually folding. Pocket queens with shoot. But yeah, obviously the connectivity is really bad. Well, aces. It's through 2 out of blind posters. We might actually get some light 3-bets behind. Because this is obviously kind of spot where we can be quite wide with the 2 capped ranges, or like any 4 capped ranges basically. And button position, and we blocked it. No straight blockers, so and mandatory 3-bet top right, easy call if he 4-bets. I suppose we are not folding with that, we just call and probably stack up on most non-clubs turns. That is pretty good overall. Of course, he might have a better hand, but like the good side of that hand is that we actually unblock the clubs. We have some draws with the open ender. He has it, and we can't hit. It's a straightforward pot to lead. Unfortunately, we had a bit too strong of a hand to fold, I would say. That was horrendous. Called 3-bet by this Castro guy on the bottom right. Cold calling 3-bet with queen 10 for single suited. Well, that's a good example why you don't make that call. I think, like, if we think about, like, question we ask, like, what is the biggest league on average player on these pools, I would say it's definitely pre-flop play overall. Like, I would say at least 80% of people probably call way too much or too much. And most people are also not 3-betting enough. I mean, there are of course exceptions who are 3-betting actually too much, or like wrong type of range and so on. I think with solid pre-flop range you already have like quite a big advantage on most tables. I think just calling bottom right with the bad connectivity is kind of standard. And bottom left, obviously just hoping for free card. You can turn some stuff, like 5 queen, jack, all kind of reasonable flush draw. That's not helping though. I mean, the queen would probably be the absolutely best card. And even then we sometimes run against the kings. So this guy is saying he has a straight pretty much with those sizings. One very common thing also tends to be that if someone plays like really wide pre-flop, then the adjustment a lot of people make is actually also to widen their own ranges a lot, but I don't think that's necessarily such a good adjustment, especially if they are in a situation where it's easily multi-way pot. Not a good board for my hand. Top right. If I had one diamond or something, well, I probably wouldn't open with single suited combo. But like 10x with the diamond, I would probably bet the river. Or even just single diamond potentially. Like that hand as well, as a calling hand, I think it's not going to be a good call. 2 upper gaps with the side cards, making the hand kinda weak overall. Interesting flop. Don't have backdoor flush draw or club. I think we are just checking. Check call. This could actually be a kind of an interesting hand to just lead the turn. Sizing wise, I'm not really sure, but I will go big because I'm kind of saying that I have the boat. Maybe that makes sense, I'm not really sure what we theory-wise should be doing, sizing-wise. But that's the outcome we wanted, so happy result at least. We could probably pot here. If we check, we really can't fold with the open ender and flush draw. So we can put a lot of pressure on like weaker AX or kings, queens, jacks, 9x. I mean, just plain overcards to the 9 is pretty nice to get the folds here. But yeah, if you are opponent here with something like, let's say, ace, queen, queen, king, it's no diamond, it's not really very, very nice spot to be in. I think in limp spots we also have a decent amount of showdown value with the 7, at least on the turn. This time it was enough. Nice run down at the bottom right. In GTO-wise, this is probably sometimes a 4-betting hand if the big blind 3-bets, but I would just call in that scenario. And I'm not totally sure if it's 4-bet, but I think some of those like 1-gappers was actually 4-betting. 4-betting, even 200 pp deep. I've probably never seen this guy playing this night. Maybe he's just carded. And yeah, we got that. We got that ticket. Yeah, actually it's visible here. Yeah, it was the ace. It was the aces that I folded when the mid lane lead trigger. So you don't need to get actually the showdown either. At least if it's river, I don't know if it's matters otherwise. I think here we want to just pot with the ace of heart and open ender and backdoor flush draw. Maybe we bet here. I don't know. Like flushes are usually not folding, but we could also deny some equity otherwise. Like if we get something like king, queen, jack, 8 to fold, for example, I think it's pretty nice. But if he calls here, I think he has flush quite often, and I would just tend to give up. But yeah, also if we actually have the nuts here, we don't really need to go big because often people would be raising a lot of like sets and also 2 pairs on the flop. So we are usually against hands that have actually extremely little equity against the flush. And again, we can leverage the full stack by by small turn sizing. Here, especially against the big bet, just folding. Three callers, just check folding the flop. Yeah, this is like theory-wise open, but it's one of those hand categories that I think we could probably just fold, because often you get so much of these calling guys behind that I kind of doubt if we actually saw profit by opening those. I think we can just see, but here we also have like a little blocker value with our hand. King 10 blocking the overpairs, 4 is blocking some straight draws. Then we snap folds to raise. But yeah, that would be the same sizing if I had really strong hand as well here. I suppose we check. I mean, maybe we could bet as well, because especially against pot size we can't call. Might be reasonable to bet as well. So it was visible in the notification things that what hand gave that ticket. So I think in here it's actually yeah. So it's for the limit that it happens, I suppose. In certain time frame in having the best hand or something, or maybe it's. I'm just wondering, is it like for every limit, like buy-in level separately, probably. Not for NL4 and PLO4 ban sightings. Open ender. I don't know, if I had some diamond I would bet, but just a call. Not a good river. Easy. Let's use the zoom. Zoom for once. Do get the call. I mean, deuce is kind of unlikely. I mean, somewhat more likely, I suppose, for the big blind. This guy is usually not the widest kind of defender, from my experience. Should we just bet here or check call? I mean, our river playability has some issues at least. And he bets. Well, let's just fold. And top left, open raised and check calls the flop. 5 is kind of important here. We also unblock the 8-9 part. We have ace king of spade, which is pretty bad for check raising, so I think I would just bot that one. And hopefully we don't get raised, because straight flushes are out here. And can't really fold bottom right against the half pot with the nut flush draw. Hopefully we don't face a raise behind. Not any help for us, so. And dirty spot on the top right, I think, because we unblock 5, 6, 7. We have the ace. Kind of tempted to call this one. King, jack, jack. Okay. So did we get showdown on here? These deuce. It would have been nice to hit that flush as the fluffy fish guy had the second nut flush draw. Obviously calling bottom right, hoping for the turn to go check, check. I think it would be a reasonable call if he bet as well. Unblocking the clubs and blocking the straight. And I mean, some boats with the deuce as well, I suppose. It's actually not such a great ball table on the bottom right. Kohauka is kind of tacky type of wreck. This guy has been also very tight. Well, ace is in the 50 table. We actually get our turn today. Well, pretty nice hand top left as well. Not sure if we want to 3-bet or squeeze. I think it would be kind of reasonable. Well, bottom left, we definitely 3-bet. Like rainbow, I would definitely just call top left, but. And well, I suppose bottom left we are going to see a bit small. Hopefully getting down. It's down here. don't. I mean, the good thing is in our hand in a way that we don't block the king, queen, or 4, so this could potentially be a triple barrel hand. But we are also kind of running out of stack depth, I would say. Maybe I just take the equity we have and try to get the showdown. King 9-9 deuce, wow. Thank you for that. Not even blocking the river. Oh yeah, top right, he had ace, king, king. We had a little bit weaker ace, king, queen. Yeah, also when we have the aces, it's probably a reason to be even more careful in general with the bluffs, because we have at least some showdown value often. Not necessarily huge amount, but at least some. But here, when it goes check, check, I mean, we could probably go for the small bet. We might sometimes have the nut straight as well, but it's limped pot. I don't actually mind leading on the top right. Bottom right, no port pair. I think it's too weak to continue. Top left we have open ender, no diamond or 5 or 6, so time to check. We are check calling, so at least if he doesn't go like pots as well, it's quite close. Let's call, we still have the open ender and so on. And we make the backdoor flush. It gets snap fold. And top right, just checking back. I suppose we call. Half pot's kind of weird sizings on that board. Honestly, I think that we are beat really often. Just checking with the aces and not flush draw. We actually have the straight flush at this point. I mean, when they check both, I don't think they have both that often. If they have, they probably raise. So I think we could go like half pot and try to get straights to call. Maybe give some space if they want to go for some bluffs or something. That's the flush. Here I think my showdown value is quite minimal. The jack. And we can definitely value bet most straights at that point, I think. Just checking ace queen 8. And he checks again. Not totally sure of that, but let's go for teenish value bet, I suppose. That's probably not an actual board teenish. Just 8-7. Well, I mean, 8-7-5 all work as a blocker, but I don't know. No spade suck. Now we actually get double cuts. And 7 might be occasionally good as well. Yes. 7-4, unfortunately, with the overpair. Like here, bottom left, the good thing of my hand is that it's still connected with all cards. So if the flop has 8-9, we are going to have quite a huge wrap. But on the top left table, we had like queen jack 10-3 or something. So I'm kind of more happy to play this kind of hand with all cards decently connected at least. And we don't improve on the bottom right. Two big blinds. Top right, blocking the aces, unblocking hearts. Oh man, that's kind of nasty. We have a decent showdown value though with the ace king. Do we want to bluff get so is different question. It's not actually that absurd, and also would he call with like queens or stuff like that on the turns that often. So this might actually be a reasonable bluff get through. Nice. And bottom right we have the nut wrap with the club and top pair, so we are going to see that. Take the pot down. And just folding bottom right. Too gabby. This could be a 3-bet, I suppose, but I don't know. Might actually also be a 3-bet folding hand. We are just total nit fold. Top left we have the straight blocker nut cut with the nut flush draw, so let's start to build the pot. I think with this combo also we have one diamond, which is pretty nice. Just pot that one. Here we could actually check behind, I think, especially against big blind. And not on the top left. Just potting. Kinda nasty to get that. We also have a 3 in our hand. Let's go for the bet. And of course it's spade. But we are good. So bottom left, not really that great of a hand, but we do have 3 Broadway cards, so and shoot, even though it's not the greatest of shoots. This might be actually kind of reasonable check raise candidate, maybe. Not sure. Well, let's go for the delayed bet then. And we flop the set bottom left. Not the greatest flop for our range. But perhaps this is, well, we probably don't want to mainly just pot, or I'm actually going to just pot. There are quite a lot of board developments where we are not loving our hand overall. We go with the small C, but so I suppose if we bet small and pot the turn, it's going to be still quite close to the all-in basically. So that might be also a mistake. Pretty nice hand. Bottom right, we can also easily call against the 3-bet. I mean, in some cases even 4-bet, but I can't really remember seeing much of a 3-bets from these guys, so. Well, wrong shoot on the flop though. And we face lead, makes it easy to fold. And bottom left decided to go for the 3-bet fold. We're actually quite nicely up at this point. I believe something like a bit over 200 or so. 220, 230 or something like that. Well, mainly because of the below 100 table, I suppose. Well, nice hand. Top right. I think I'm just folding top left with the deuce dangler. Also, should be somewhat careful with these kind of a king queen 10. Because like if the E or the MP has tight range, then we can be quite easily dominated. Not the greatest offense on the bottom right, but against the bring in guy on the cutoff, we definitely want to ISO raise, I would think. This is, I'm not sure, quite disconnected. Maybe calling is best option. And top right, I'm actually thinking of just folding this against the squeeze. And bottom right, do we take just the free card if we get the chance? We have the ace. We can definitely get some over pairs to fold, so maybe we actually go for the bet. Issue is if we get raised, we have to fold, which unfortunately happens now. So I'm not really sure about that. Feels kind of a spot where we don't really get raised that often. Might be wrong though. Pretty decent hand bottom right. Do we squeeze? So kind of tempting, how to say. Fold. Be nice to get both these guys in position to fold, but doesn't happen. Oh man, just have to be flopped like this. Well, do we just bet now or? I mean, the thing is, I would check range check here basically. So I definitely have some strong stuff. And I just went for the pot because I don't really want to like half pot and face a shove, and just want to commit here and basically say that hey, I'm not folding if you shove, so don't get any creative ideas. Pocket sixes for the win. Not going to happen. I suppose we just check fold. Was thinking about potting the river and trying to get those kind of hands that are less than ace to fold, but no idea if that makes sense overall. I mean, we still have like total air hands as well, which don't have like any showdown value, so those are probably better ones to use. Jack 10, 10, 9 with 3 hearts. No idea. I mean, suppose we could just check. I mean, we don't really want to bet fold when we have the nut cuts as well. And I'm not feeling that great about the idea to bet call against the check raise. We could have actually just botted bottom right SPR4 as well. Well, at this point we are going to bet the turn, top set, blocking the straight, having the support. And now we just check the river, I suppose, or call if he bets. I'm not super happy if he bets though, but like it's really, really hard to get called by weaker. So even though we have the best hand, very likely I think it's just a check. We actually also blocked the straight, which could be like hero calling Jack 9, having the straight ourselves, so. Ooh, what card on the bottom left? No bet, unfortunately, though. Just potting. And getting the bad news. Now he shoves and no heart in my hand. We need to be good 1 out of 4 times. We do unblock the Jack 10, 9. Really ugly. Really ugly. What? People are super weird sometimes. Oh man. Doesn't shove the turn or bet call, and then he's turning the bottom set into bluff. Like, well, just wow. Just wow is only only thing I can say. Luckily the price was that good. I would have probably folded otherwise. Well, we hit the straight, but it's not the nut straight, and there's a plus, so we are just check folding. Check folding, but hopefully we get the pre-showdown. Might win. Occasionally. Not this time. Snap checking back second nuts. When turn goes check and so on. Squeeze it easy. Bottom left we could actually even raise here, I would imagine. The blockers we have. And top right, I'm just putting really good flop for our hand and range, and here we have easy fold. If he called, I would basically mainly give up if those sevens don't play the role. Oh man, justice. No. Being set on 10-3 dues, well, luckily it's PLO 25. Oh well. Now we have Jack. Also block ace and queen. aces and queens. I think I will call here. Not really sure if I like that, but let's see if we get the free showdown. We don't. Suppose I'm just folding. I mean, you could potentially do like everything here, I suppose. So we have like Queen of Hearts, straight, which could be like a call. We have Jack 7 to basically bluff, and I don't know what bluffs the guy is going to have here. Maybe some not flush blocker or something. Two queens. Was wondering about leading the flop, but here we are. We are going to bet the turn. And planning to fire through on blanks for sure. There are actually a lot of hands that these guys can have that call the turn and then fold on the blank as we unblock the diamond, and they can also have like some sets or two pairs on the flop as well when it's the straight draw or straight board. I think against this stack depth I'm not going to 3-bet on the bottom right. I'm going to raise if we lead, so seems like he's sitting out or disconnected. By the way, did I have backdoor flush draw when I went for the... Yeah, we had the backdoor flush draw, small one, but still gives some equity. Suppose we just take the free card, top right. Ugly. We don't have nut flush draw, or just third nut flush draw, so maybe we can just fold that. Well, bottom right, I think we need to call this one, so this guy actually might be issue that with his stack depth he might shove over, reopen their betting and so on. Ooh, what flop on the top right? And bottom right we can't fold with top pair, not flush draw, obviously. Let's hope for the best. We are in the flip. Come on. That suck. Never lucky against that guy. 70% top right. And here he hits. That's the way. I mean, 12. Yeah, I think it's going to be this guy's, well, but come on, if you continue, just shove. It would be beneficial basically for him to get this guy to fold if possible. 48% three-way. Nice. A little bit back from that earlier flip closed. Probably fine to just call bottom right with such a bad kind of side card. King. Club. We are not happy to, if we bet the river, I'm just going to fold still. No boat blocker at all. We are not beating any value. Man, would have been nice to win that flip spot. Well, that's kinda nice card, I suppose. Making the boats less likely. Here we actually have the nuts on very drawy board. So let's just call. Oh man. I suppose we are in check fold mode, bottom right. And second nuts, can we get value? I mean, there are a lot of busted stuff. And he checks. And we get the call, nice. Probably should just bot and not go for funky sizing. Rips on the bottom right. One more queen. Well, we might have the best hand. And we do. And just checking here with the double cut, so no point to really bet in my mind. And on the turn we are going to bet top set and still blocking the straight. That would be crappy enough to fold open, especially as this guy has been somewhat passive as well. Yellow 400 tickets. Well, we only have the bad flush draw, so don't really lose that much if we get raised. Min raising, well, we have very little going on. Double pair, can't hit. I suppose we are folding even to that sizing. Kind of a weird sizing though. This would be a 3, but even against this guy. It's kind of awkward if we get raised, so. What size bet? I suppose I'm folding to that sizing. Just checking top right if it comes checked. We could get some action from like king, queen, 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 king, jack, queen, queen, jack, jack combos, but we also block those kind of hands a little bit with the king 3, and on the river I'm going to bet half pot. Nice. Well, we actually have the second not witty set, but it's also kind of a nasty spot. Drawing for the not low pot. So even if we hit the boat, we are not like super thrilled. We can easily have like higher set with the not straight here, for example. Min open. Super deep here. Just calling, I suppose. There would be some point in betting the turn, I suppose. Just pop the river. A lot of busted straight draw in our range. He snaps with the kind of bad hand, I would say. Also because it's blocking the stuff that he basically wants me to have. Which are those busted straight draws. And we make the set. I think if he checks, we could actually value bet here. I think folding top right is probably a bit too tight, but I don't think it's 3-bet either with the low shoot. I mean, maybe we could just fold as well. He sees no action. Suppose we just fold top right even. Well, I don't know. Is it bad enough to not even open small blind? Being double suited. Well, most likely 3 betting top left. And we are going to both that flop for blocker is quite a big deal. Also backdoor flush draw. And I suppose we put the turn and hope for the best. Nice. That's the best outcome. EV wise. And just checking the bottom right, I think. I think we could just bet fold this one. Enough blockers. He's king. 3-bet folding. At least, I mean, if the cutoff shows, I suppose we go with it, but against the button. Leading turn and checking the... I don't know, why did he lead here? Kind of a weird decision in my opinion, because when he has the top 2 anyway, so what's the point to basically turn the top 2 into bluff? Suppose we check back. No diamond. Really deep stacked as well. No, probably should have bet the turn to check. Always straightening cards when you check back in these situations. That's how it sometimes feels, at least. That's a nice card, I would imagine. Can be value, but feels like it's kind of unlikely he has better considering the action, but pretty hard to get value, I would think as well. Not upright, just calling. Top set, no board pairing, so once they check, so I have the best hand pretty much always. The question is how much can we bet? Let's go on the smaller side somewhat. And he has the set. I mean, maybe we could just bot as well and hope they have a set that calls. Because when I take that line, it's pretty unlikely I have the nuts either. Considering the action, the kings kind of become extremely close to the effective nuts. Just folding to normal 3-bet on the bottom right, at least if there's no cold callers. And even more so if it's actually squeeze that is coming. We get the flop, not really hitting much, kind of a hard flop for the opponent to hit either, so I don't know. Would probably just bet. Interesting river. I suppose we pop the river. Do we want to go? I don't know. I mean, he could have like some 2 pairs here. 10, 6 and so on. Let's go half pot. Feels like we have a hard time to get calls here by that many. And no help top right. Well, it's shown the 2-hour mark. I think that's kind of a nice session length. I would kind of try to train myself to be targeting Well, definitely raising against the limper, but this guy raises, so just calling. Nice looking turn. Now he's potting. We don't have any support and we are deep stacked, so just going to call. It's kind of ugly if he has like pocket kings or something. I suppose we can't really fold either, I would think. This guy raising, we have quite a nice hand. I mean, we could go either way here, I think. And we get his bluff in the pot. That was pretty spooky stuff. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. I would imagine that he folds if I shove, but who knows. Maybe he was thinking he has such a strong hand that might have gone with it anyway. I should probably fold this. And then we get to these stupid spots. Two pair, bottom left. Let's bet here. And upright. Not the big fan of these kind of hands against the 3-bet. As the 7 doesn't really play at all with my hand. Let's just check and see if we get the 3 cards top left. And queen might be good enough. And we have the nuts here as well. Also, we don't block any of the board pairs. Pretty nice combo in general. I mean, we can go either way. Now the board pairs, which suck big time, and we are just checking and potentially just folding if there's, well, probably not against this sizing. No straight plus kinda close, but kind of close. Some top pair value on the top right. I think this one we probably have to call if there's squeeze, and we hit in pretty strong way. And these kind of hands, suppose we open MP. Nuts on the top left, top right, I mean. I'm not even sure we want to open that ace-5 deuce 3. They are kind of classical hands that it's actually really hard to hit in a strong way. So even though they are double suited, it's not that great if I have holding. Unfortunately, the 3-bet on the bottom left would have hit the top set. Holding. King, and we actually got the king. This could make some sense as a lead, I suppose. At least sometimes these kind of kings, if I remember right, are leading. Because they don't really like necessarily hate to get into this spot. Of course, if he has like really strong combo draw, we are potentially even behind, but well, this might be expensive. 165%, please. Nice. Nice one. Well, I think he had reasonable hand overall. That was a big one. That's the scenario we want to create by leading that kind of a hand. Because if we go like check raise, it might go easily go check check on the flop. We don't give this guy a chance to check raise, and it's actually straight completing. It's kind of well, I don't know. I mean, this could be a bet fold, I suppose. Nice, 7-5 calling. Wow. The idea is kind of that, like if I check and we'll lay pots the river, for example, and we don't improve, it's not like a great hand to be calling the bluff or the bet as a bluff catcher. We don't block the straights and so on. Do we actually go for check raise? This might be expensive one. Luckily not. The good side in that is that quite many people don't actually go for like bet call and then call the turn with the nuts. So if the board doesn't change, I think the river bluff will be successful quite often. I'm actually calling here. It's so much easier in general for this guy to have like 8-9 type of hand than 5-4. Well, he has 5-3-3. Oh well. Can't be always right. Suppose we check again with top 2 plus draw. We hit the nuts. Interesting river. I will go for some fungi line. I don't know. Oh. No idea. Let's just click buttons. I feel like if I check, he's going to check back extremely often, so... I think that worked out kinda nicely. Check. No straight. Low draw. Top right. Top left, pot size bet, and we have 3 hearts, so let's just throw that away. Small hearts, well, kind of, but not really helpful. Well, we have some straight draw potential and 2 pairs now. Just hoping for free showdown unless we improve. Well, sucks if he has aces or something now. He doesn't. Just calling bottom left with 5 dangler. And folding flop. Man, that bottom right big hand was nice one. That's what it usually is if you win, I suppose. Cold calling 3-bet from, well, it was min 3-bet, but still. And top right, having the connected one, let's open and call 3-bet. I mean, it gets thinner if you face it to squeeze, obviously. I think it's still probably call, especially as we are deep stacked. Should we just bet small here? I mean, we have 1 heart. Very, very little hope. Check line. That's also kind of a good, like, if you decide to bluff on those monotone boards, that whatever you have heart or not should be a big, like, decision point in a way. I think we could bet here again. Well, we have a flush draw, which is kind of a reason to not bet, I suppose. Because we have less to protect against. That's just not really a nice card. Of course, we are just checking, but could easily be against Jack 10 here. Luckily not. But if I had ace king without the flush draw, I would be way more happy to pair out here. Try to get those draws to fold. I mean, maybe that hand is kind of strong enough to be value betting, but not sure about that. Oh man, I suppose we are just folding. Here this guy is basically potting and we have kind of bad hand. I think with ace, like, it's still a defend in the big blind, I would imagine. Okay, so I think we are going to leave tables on the next, or actually, I think here on the bottom left we can definitely continue. We can basically play one orbit here in the same time as on the bottom right, probably. I mean, I can see some point in potting here, but not sure. And we are just in check call mode. Bottom left. Aces. I think with the king queen we have enough, like too much showdown value to be bluffing with that spot. Nuts on the top left. Block the king, which could be a reason to check back and then go for some delayed stuff. Also be a bit more deceptive in a way. No action, so bottom left, I'm just giving up. Especially when a fourth heart comes, it's like, I usually think that we want to be toning down on the bluffs in a way that now less likely that we have the flush ourselves. And obviously we have absolutely nothing going on with that hand anyway. We actually got new players here, so my estimation changed, so to say. We are actually a lot on the profit side. The hole I made some days ago, €1,000, is actually really close to being filled. Jack 995 double, definitely folding to open raise. Do we want to open ourselves though? Would be so much nicer if the 5 was like 7. The zoom actually, yeah, it's like a bit wrong sized for this bottom table, so well, we got Open through. That's a nice result. Yeah, I think it's also an interesting question. That's what do we think about the huge pot we won, especially the villain line. Well, my line as well, I suppose. So he just goes for the stack off on the flop. I mean, he has the backdoor flush draws, which is like, I think, the minimum requirement. Like, if he only has the nut flush draw with the gutshots, I think it would be like quite a big overplay. It might be reasonable with the backdoor flush draw, I'm not sure. The problem is that once, like, of course, it's not like super common necessarily that I will 3-bet on the flop, but once I do 3-bet, he's going to be against hand like this, like top set kind of hand very often, as he is blocking the nut flush draw anyway. So I think here also it's better to just call than shove, because if the board pair, he can basically just check fold the turn. But yeah, that was for it. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.